Díoghuid, agus fáilte arás. Hello and welcome back. Some of you have asked me in the comment section to make a video on a pronunciation guide. So that's what I'm going to do today and next week as well. Today we're going to look at the fadas. That's a little line or a little stroke over the vowels in Irish. The vowels being A, E, I, O and U. I'm going to show you how to pronounce the fadas, give you some new words and some sample sentences as well. So let's get started with the letter A. On its own, this would be pronounced like A. So it would be a short, sharp A. But when you put the A fada there, you will see that it becomes A. A good example is to show you this word here, which is spelt A-I-T. This is pronounced at, which means strange or unusual in Irish, at. But if you put a fada over the A, it becomes oit, which means a place. So without the fada it's at, and with the fada it's oit. Another good word to show you the difference between a fada and a lack of a fada is the Irish word for bread, which is aran. So the start of that word is a, and then at the end you will hear the stress and focus on the fada, aran. And aran bon is white bread, aran bon. The fada, the A fada that is, being stressed, and you hear that more so in the word with the A fada. So aran, aran bon. Our next vowel then is E. On its own, it's E sound. E. Again, short and quick, E. But when you put a fada over it, it becomes A. A. So for example, olus would be information. So there's no great emphasis on the first part of that word, olus. Aspig is bishop, aspig. Again, not a great stress on the first part. But if you think of this word here, which is the Irish word for bird, and that is ain, ain, you can see the difference that a fada makes. Also, the Irish word for uniform is éide, éide. And again, you can see how the E fada pretty much dominates the word, éide. Mar hampla. Bhí siad faoi lán éide. They were in full uniform. Bhí siad faoi lán éide. Our next vowel then is I. On its own, this is an I sound. I. But when you put a fada over the I, it makes an E sound. E. For example, the Irish word for whole or complete is umlán, umlán. So that has a short sound at the start with more emphasis on the A fada at the end, as in umlán, just like we discussed at the start of the video when we talked about A fada. But if you think of the Irish word to pay, which is íoc, you'll see the I fada kicking in there with the E sound. Íoc. Díoc she paid. Díoc she. An example of a sentence where you'll see the I with the fada and without it is here. So here it is. I do chuid glossary. Eat your vegetables. I do chuid glossary. I being the Irish word to eat, and glossary being the Irish word for vegetables. So you can see the difference there between the I without the fada in I and glossary which has the I fada. Our next vowel then is the letter O. On its own, this is just an sound. But when you add the fada on top, it becomes a longer O sound. O. So there's more stress and emphasis, and you usually say it that little bit longer. O. For example, the Irish word for ambulance is othar. Othar. So the O at the start there was quick and relatively sharp. Othar. But if you think of the Irish word then for olive oil, ola aloiga, you'll see more emphasis on the O Fada towards the end. Ola being oil and aloiga being olive. So the O Fada kind of takes over a little bit there. Ola aloiga. Next we have the Irish vowel U. On its own, this is an sound. But when you put a Fada over the U, it becomes an oo sound. Oo is the dominant sound there. Oo. For example, the Irish word for an author is úidir. Úidir. And the Irish word for apple is úil. Úil. So the U Fada, you can hear it there. Úil. The word or verb to prepare is ulvu. So you can see the difference there at the start where there's no Fada, and then at the end where there is a Fada. Ulvu is to prepare. If you have any more questions about the Irish language, or you would like me to do a particular type of video or set of videos, please let me know in the comments section below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Gurb magat agus slán go fóill.